Good morning, everyone. First thing, I wanted to thank you all for joining us. Wanted to also say a big thank you for your business. I think we've got some exciting content today. We're going to cover our A2L residential product update. These units have been redesigned, completely redesigned as far as our high wall units are concerned, all new chassis, and we'll get right into that in a minute. But just want to say a big thank you to Republic for putting this together for us. With that, we'll go ahead and get started. I just want to take a second to introduce myself. My name is Don Probasco. I am the new ASM for Iowa, Nebraska, and South Dakota. I've been in the position for about 5 months now, so I'm at the point where you're probably going to start seeing me coming around into your territories, doing joint sales calls with the TMs and getting as much information about our new products out to you guys. So if you have any questions or you need any information from me, you can reach out to your TMs. They can get you my contact information. Be happy to talk to each and every one of you.
Thanks, Don. We're excited to have you. And I just wanted to say we're excited for you to be here and looking forward to the webinar. I'll be fielding the questions if anybody has any. So just go ahead and type them in the chat and we'll turn on the mic if needed.
Yep. Feel free to chime in at any time. Okay, new products. First thing I wanted to cover, if any of you are familiar, we had a previous app called Kumo Cloud, which is still active. We are currently in beta testing on our new Comfort app. We're looking at a change. The big reason is our old app it's reached its peak. It can't be updated any farther. So we knew we had to do something to stay ahead. This is the future Wi-Fi. We all understand it. Our old platform was a little cumbersome. The new one's going to decrease the number of clicks to complete a given task. It's going to be way more responsive. And going forward, it's going to give us the opportunity to update and bring it up to the levels we need it to be at to compete with some of our competitors, as well as just to provide the best performance and information to our customers. It also has a shear shot connectivity, which is a faster, more reliable platform. Kind of a few pictures of what this is going to look like. Nice thing about this now is when you go into your zone, it's going to actually give you a color. Blue is going to tell you that unit isn't cooling. Orangish red is going to tell you that that unit is heating. We also have our standard cooling set point. We can also go into auto mode and have dual set points. Those are all new. The dual set point is new on this app. Also, as you'll see on the third picture there, we can control if using a Kumo station, dehumidifier, as well as a backup heater. That would be a separate auxiliary heat source that you would have in that space. Why do we talk about that first? Here's why. These units that you see in front of you are all going to be built-in Wi-Fi ready. Something I know everybody's been asking about for a long time. We've finally, with the transition and having to make all new units, we decided it was time we added what used to be Kumo Cloud into all of our units. So the Comfort app will work with the new FX, GX. As you see the HX unit there, that will be coming in 26. The JX, basically every unit, but what used to be the WR, it's now going to be the WX. We're pretty excited about this. It does give us the opportunity to give your end user the best use of their equipment as far as being able to control it from anywhere. As I discussed earlier, FX, the X is signifying that this is our new unit. The H2i Plus Sumo wall, this is an H2i Sumo wall mount unit, excuse me, not a Plus. So what we're getting with this unit, the new sleek modern matte finish. So the unit has been redesigned. One thing we heard from a lot of our contractors and homeowners was the original shiny finish left fingerprints. So what we did is we designed it with more of a matte finish. And the nice thing about this matte finish, I was able to see one at our contractor summit we had in Austin up on a wall. It was a false wall, but on a wall, it blends in a little bit better with more of a satin finish wall as well. So I think it's going to be a little better received as far as from homeowners, and it just has a fresher look to it. It's been 7 years since we've redesigned these, so we were due. As we discussed, we have our built-in Wi-Fi, Comfort Cloud ready. These units will come with, as before, our dual barrier coating, which we'll get into. New this year is our dual barrier fusion technology. We'll get into that as well. Just know that that is going to help reduce the amount of service that we need to do these units. It's going to help keep it cleaner longer. We're going to have an industry best efficiency, as well as we are now Energy Star cold climate rated on all of these units. We're also going to offer the advanced frost detection. This allows for less frequent defrost cycles, which means for your customer, less downtime. So less time where that unit has to go into the cooling to defrost. So they are going to get more heat out of this unit for longer periods of time. We have also added Smart Dry Plus. I'm going to get into this. It is a different setup. It is something you'll be able to control from your remote, turn it on and off, but we'll get into that, as well as Auxiliary Heating Plus, custom switchover. So if we aren't keeping up, we can add electric backup, whether that's a baseboard, whatever it is, and control it through our system. And we've updated our 3D IC sensor as well. Kind of a little redundant as far as the Sumo wall mount system here. One of the big things you're going to see, everything that you see there, those are all new items, which is huge. One thing we didn't cover, we are adding, like on our GS previously, we are adding a GX, or excuse me, an FX 2-ton this year. So that will be nice. I know that's something everybody's really wanted. I mean, we had a lot of success with the GS side. So having it with this unit is going to be a nice feature as well. Again, we go into dual barrier fusion technology. And the handheld remote's going to be a little bit different. You can see on our SEER ratings over there, we're going to be up to 35 SEER now. That would be on our 6,000 BTU, HSPF up to 13, and our COPs are going to be at 4.48. Kind of the nuts and bolts. What are we doing here? We're taking our 100% heating capacity on this Sumo unit. Previously at 5 degrees, we were at 100%. Now we're dropping that, or -5. Now we're dropping that to -10. We're previous guaranteed operation down to -13. We're now moving that back to -22. So we're going to be at 70% or greater at -22. Thermal lockout, we used to be at -18. Now we're at -34. These are all ambient temperatures. So we will be able to guarantee operation on these units down to -22 ambient temp. That does not take into factoring in wind chill or anything like that. So I think we can really put a nice dent into most of Iowa with that guaranteed operation to -22. Okay, 3D IC sensor. Some of this has been updated for this year. The biggest update for this is the fact that we had complaints previous with our old IC sensor that there was a clicking sound. So if this unit was in a bedroom or anything like that, it would kind of be a nuisance call for you guys. So what we did is we completely redesigned it. It's a silky smooth application now. We don't have to worry about it clicking or anything like that. And a lot of that had to do with the way it was mounted and on the wall. But I think what you're going to see is we're sensing better, we're quieter, and we're also now automatically reducing capacity 10% after 10 minutes if it's not detecting a person in the room, and 20% after 60. So we're making it more efficient for you guys. Bluefin technology. This is going to be standard on all of our outdoor heat exchangers. It is the best thing we can offer. It's really something that we're proud of, but at the same time, it is specifically on our units for coastal area. It used to be we had to order a unit with the designation of BS at the end, and that made it a coastal application. And now we're just across the board making all of our units available with the same bluefin hex coating. Okay, dual barrier coating. So on our FX series, this is going to be applied to, as you can see, heat exchanger, air ducts and vanes, blower wheel, horizontal vane, and vertical vanes. What this is going to do is going to give you 30% better airflow after 10 years of operation. You can see on the bottom right-hand side here, we've got some pictures of units that have been run for 10 years without dual barrier and some that have. They just hold up. It just has enough of the hydrophobic built into it that, or excuse me, it's allowing us to remove the dust, fibers, oil, and cigarette smoke from penetrating and staying on components. It just makes it a little bit smoother, easier to clean for you guys. You don't have to worry about going in and cleaning this every couple years. We should not be having any odors from dirt accumulation. It'll be less odors anyway. We're going to help maintain that higher efficiency. Smart Dry Plus. So as you can see, this is to remove humidity from a space. It is not considered a dehumidifier, but it is to help remove humidity. What we're doing is we're going to remove as much as possible with the minimum amount of cooling in the space. So as you can see, we've got our black line is our new FX series, and the blue line is our old FS series. What you see is we're all starting at 80% humidity. Our FX is going to drop that down to our set point as quick as possible, so to the 55, and keep it there. Our old FS would run it down and try and get it as low as it could, and it never really got down to that point. So we're seeing better performance. We did run a comparison. I don't have the slide for it, but we did run a 500-minute, which is a long time comparison between the two. The old FS unit with the standard Smart Dry removed 3.7 gallons to where the new, or gallons, yes, and then the new unit after 500 minutes, it was removing 6.8. So we do see a large increase with the new system. And then on the temperature side of things, as you can see, it's more of a gradual temperature. It's not taking it straight down and keeping it at a low temp. It's bringing it down more over time. So hopefully we can satisfy that humidity and be able to bring that temp back up. What we're doing is we're adjusting the evap temp to dew point. You know, it's no secret, and then lowering the fan speed. We're doing everything we can to remove moisture from that air and not affect comfort in any way. Self-clean mode. This is going to be a new feature for these systems. This will be a button that's on your remote. What your customer will do is if they want the self-clean, or if you know the contractor decides they want the self-clean on, you're going to click the button on the remote, and then that self-clean is activated. It is fully operational. What will happen is when you have a call for cooling, if that call for cooling goes for over 3 minutes, this unit will automatically go into self-clean mode after the fact and run the fan for an additional 25 minutes without preventing the next cooling cycle from starting as needed. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to basically dry off everything inside that unit so that we don't have the moisture there to collect the particles that are going to cause the smells, the mold, any sort of issues that can happen inside that unit. So that's what we're looking at doing there. I think it's a great option. Best part about it, it's a simple button activation, turn it on, turn it off. So, and it's not turn off when you want to use it, turn on. It's just turn it on and it will work and you don't have to do anything else. G series unit. We will still have this in cooling only, standard, as well as our hyperheat option. It is also going to have the built-in Wi-Fi. Dual barrier coating is only going to be on our heat exchanger, fan, and box. We are guaranteeing on the hyperheat operation down to minus 22 on this now. It was the same as the F series previously at minus 13. We did lower the standard unit from minus 4 to minus 5. Not a huge increase there, but it did allow us to get onto the Energy Star cold climate. Auxiliary heating is available on this as well. A little different remote controller, nothing too serious. We do have our smart dry mode. That is the old version of it, as well as the self-clean mode. 6,000 up to 36,000. The 6,000 BTU will only be available for multi-zone applications. I'm going to stop real quick here and just kind of give you a little insight on the A2L, our sensors for these units. So F series and G series are our two units that we can use with our multi-zone systems. So these two units, when in single zone G series or F series, when in single zone application, will not come with a sensor built into it. So you will not have to worry about a sensor being on the indoor unit for single zone applications. When used in a, and we can cover the multi-zone later, but when used in a multi-zone application, I'll kind of go over that in a second. We will have to add the sensor. It's a very simple process. It's no different than having to get electrical boards and hook up wiring. It's all in that same location. That's exactly where our built-in Wi-Fi is as well, in that same electrical box. So everything is very, very easy to get to. But just so you know, no sensors will come with the indoor F series or indoor G series. And the way we're getting around that obviously is because of the requirement of 4 pounds of refrigerant or more, and none of our systems will have 4 pounds of refrigerant in them. Those two systems, the F series or G series. As you can see, we've got those 5 new items that are new, which is our guaranteed operation, our built-in Wi-Fi, self-clean, modified handheld, and we do also have a new microparticle catching filter that you can purchase. That is optional, so it does not come with the unit. As you can see on the right, or left, excuse me, we've got all of our different sizes as far as 9 through 36 in the Z series, or 6 through 36 in the heat pump. Cooling, we do 9 through 36, and then so on and so forth. What can be used in the standard and heat pumps. J series, this is our 115 volt unit. We offer this in a 9 and 12,000 BTU unit. Again, gonna have built-in Wi-Fi. We're looking at a 20 SEER rating on this with a HSPF of 10. We do have Energy Star certified as well as Energy Star cold climate on this. Our fan will have the dual barrier coating, guaranteed operation down to -5 ambient, and we're gonna have greater than 70% at 5 degrees. Again, the self-clean mode. Great opportunity here with a garage, any space like that, they want to add some cooling, maybe a little bit of heating, but they have another source. We can pretty easy plug and play on 115. Just take an outlet, plug it through the wall, and we've got a unit heating and cooling that space. So a nice little option. It's not going to be a sole source, but gives us something we can put in there if we don't have 220 in that space. HX, this is again a unit that was 18 SEER. We're looking at 20 SEER on this, 9 through 24,000. Dual barrier coating as well on the fan, guaranteed operation down to -5. Very similar performances to the J series, just this is actually the 220, 240 unit, and we do have 9 through 24. The one unit we didn't cover is our WX model. That will also still be available. That unit has currently a 16 SEER rating in the 410 world. We will be jumping that to 18 SEER. It will have all the same options, won't have the same operating temp, and it will not have Wi-Fi capability either. Not sure if anybody's familiar, but this is our MLZ Easy Fit system. We have a 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. As you can see, our 6,000 BTU will fit in between 14-inch joists, I joists. And our other 9 through 18 will fit in between the 16-inch standard joists. Great opportunity here for bedrooms. Somebody who doesn't want that high wall unit on their wall, we can go in with this system. Everything's accessible from below. That whole panel just swings down and hangs there, and you can work on everything. All your connections for the line sets, your wiring is all underneath there. It's a nice opportunity for a different look in a space where somebody's not wanting a head unit on the wall. It does come with a drain lift mechanism, so we can shoot up 19 inches and then gravity flow out if we need to. Again, perfect application for that homeowner that does not want a high wall unit. Okay, that's kind of covers our standard 1-to-1 M series units. Any questions on anything at this point? If not, I'll move forward into our universal SUZ. Okay. So universal SUZ, for those of you that don't know, we have the 5 units on the right-hand side. Those are available in 1-to-1 applications currently. We are adding 2 new units to this universal, one being the floor-mounted unit, which used to have previously in the 410 model, had its own individual outdoor unit. That outdoor unit is going away. So going forward with 454B, it will only be available 1-to-1 with the SUZ outdoor unit, and that's going to be a standard heat pump or our hyper heat. And then also on our designer side, we previously did not have this unit available in a 1-to-1 system. We are now adding this to the SUZ standard and hyper heat in a 1-to-1 system. So you will be able to sell this for your 4-season porch, whatever it is. Customer wants something a little different that's going to maybe not, blend a little bit better. It's got the black maybe fits, the silver fits, whatever it is. It just has a little nicer look, and that's the reason we called our designer series. They can use this in a 1-to-1 application going forward with the 454B units. Our efficiencies, we do have Energy Star and cold climate. We will have increased piping lengths as we'll go through, and some of the other height as well as lengths. Okay, standard units, not many changes here. The big change is going to be on our 24, 30, 36. Our old cut out was at 10 degrees, and then our cut in was at, I think that's reversed. So our cutout, that doesn't make any sense at all. So our cut in would have been 10 and our cutout would have been 14. Now it's going to be cut in at -4 and our cutout's going to be at -14 to match the smaller units. You see there at the third option there is SUZ 4860. Those are going to be a couple new units this year. I believe they're going to be dropping in May. So we'll have 1-to-1 4-ton, 1-to-1 5-ton in our standard heat pumps, and we're going to have a 1-to-1 hyperheat 4-ton in this SUZ lineup. So we will have a 1-to-1 that will have a cut in at -13, cut out at -22 with 100% heating down to 5 degrees. Great application for our SV air handling units. MXZ ported lineup. So on our MXZ side, we designation the 2D. The D is changing. Our old ones were 2Cs. On our nomenclature, where anywhere you see that L, that's going to signify that it's 454B. So if you see that in any nomenclature, whether it's indoor outdoor unit, it's going to have the L, it's 454B. It's going to be many other things on our boxes. Every corner of every box is going to have 454B on it. I know that we're going to have tags on the units themselves, so no worries there. But just so you know, anytime you see that L, it is 454B. Couple changes within the model range. Our 2.5 and our 3-ton system. 2.5 has gone from a 3-head designation to 4. So we'll have 4 ports on our 2.5 ton, and on our 3-ton, we've gone from 4 to 5. So that, I think, will be a nice benefit for a setup where you don't need very large heads in the smaller home. You don't need large heads in the bedrooms, and you can get away with a smaller unit in the main space. Now we can really take care of a house with many rooms. But that is our ported lineup. A little bit more to that to come. On the top slide, we've got the top of the slide, we've got our 410A footprint. This is our chassis. As you can see on our 20 through 20s were the H710 chassis, 24, 30s, and 36 were small. And after 36, our 42, as well as all of our hyperheat, went to what we call our middle. Going forward with the 454B, all of our outdoor units in the ported series, not the SM Smart Multi, just the ported, are going to be small chassis. So much easier for your guys to handle, more maneuverable, something that, when using your hanging on a wall, it's going to be a little bit easier for everybody. So I think this is going to be a nice change going forward. I know we heard a lot of good things about the small chassis before. Easy to, like I said, easy to work with. And now that's going to be complete through our MXZ lineup, standard as well as hyper. A few additions to our Smart Multi. Now this is going to be, again, on the standard, it's going to be the 3.5 and up, or excuse me, the 4 and 5. On the hyperheat, it's going to be your 3-ton and up. We have increased capability, so now we're able to add that MLZ-06. So when we're doing a house that has bedrooms and you want to put something in the ceiling, we do have that 6,000 capability now in the ceiling one-way cassette. We've enhanced our hyperheating. So previously we rated our system at 100% capacity at 5 degrees. We're now rating that heating capacity down to -13 at 100% capacity. How are we doing it, you ask? Basically what we're doing is, previous unit had 2 rows of coils. We're now adding a 3rd row of coils. And that's how we're pulling more heat out of the air. And that's how we're able to get it down to that -13. Thermal lockout is going to be at -24. These improved efficiencies are giving us more Energy Star as well as Energy Star cold climate systems. We will be a little more service friendly. USB recorder, 2 weeks operation data stored. I think that's gonna be a nice thing for everybody to have that out there, and we can now look at what this unit's done over the 2 weeks rather than having to sit there and look at it. More diff switch settings for customizable operation, as well as these units will, these are the only units, but the Smart Multi units will have solenoid shutoff valves built into them for the A2L compliance, because these are the only units that we're going to have large amounts of refrigerant in these units. So know that going forward, that these will have shutoff valves built into them. One of the things I learned today that I didn't have a slide on in a meeting, the one thing that might be a little bit different on these units is in heating mode, these units are going to run both fans. In cooling mode, there's a possibility, if it's not needed, the bottom fan can shut off to only run one fan. So just keep that in mind. Just I have a feeling there'll be some calls we may get that one fan isn't working. In cooling, there's a possibility one of our fans will shut off. So keep that in mind as these start rolling out. No big changes here. The biggest one's going to be that MSZ designer series will not be available with the branch box connection. There's something to do with the compatibility on it that they're going to work on, and hopefully in the next year or so we'll get that figured out. But something to do with the communication between the two that we didn't get figured out, so it will not be available on the smart multi systems. On the ported systems, you'll be just fine, but on the smart multi, we cannot use our designer series. Again, only designation here would be that 100% heating operation down to -13. That's an 18-degree jump. We're pretty excited about that. It's going to take care of a lot of situations in our state, so I think we're going to see some good movement with this product, better than we've already seen anyway. That covers our multi-zone. One thing I did not cover on the multi-zone, our branch boxes. Those are 3-port and 5-port branch boxes will come with 3 for the 3-port or 5 for the 5-port. They will come with the indoor sensors. So if you're using 3GX, 3FX, 5GX, 5FX, understand that those will come with the branch box of the smart multi so that you can connect those. Our standard ported will not need, because we're still below that refrigerant threshold. You will not need any sort of sensors on the indoor GX FX unit. So on that same side of things, any of our units that do come with the sensor built in, if the indoor or outdoor unit does not require it, it will not be functional. So if we're using our S series and we add a MLZ to it that has that in there, if it's under, if that indoor unit does not require a sensor on the indoor, it will not function. So understand that there will be extra packaging inside those SM branch boxes. I would keep those, whether you want to keep them with the unit if you're not using them, if you're using different heads other than the G and the F series, keep those. Just know that you're going to need to keep those around as extras, because one thing about our sensors, they are one and done. So if we do have a failure and you need to system trips on that indoor sensor, you will need to replace it. And it is the same sensor throughout all of our units. So make sure you save those sensors so that you can have spares in case you have a failure, in case you decide to change a head, whatever it is. Any questions? Sensors, multi-zone. We're going to move on to a teleheat. Perfect.
No questions yet, but just as a reminder, feel free to put them in the chat and I'll be able to field them towards Don for anybody on the call.
Perfect. Thank you. All right, IntelliHeat dual fuel system A coil. This is a unit that I believe we've had out for about 4 years now. Fantastic idea. Everything's great. We, had little issues, I think, with COVID and everything else kind of getting pushed out, but I think we need to kind of readdress with you guys as far as this is a great option. We're looking at putting this on any gas furnace. We have 3 different sizes of coils. We got your A, B, and C width coils. We're looking at some of the most efficient equipment out there as far as, and quiet when you're talking about our Mitsubishi systems. We can help reduce fossil fuel usage. We can run our systems. If you're using a hyperheat unit, we can run them down a little bit lower. We'll cover that next slide. The picture you see there, the left side would be the 3 pictures of the coil, 2 pictures of the coil, and then the box. The left side is our old control box. It was a little bit larger. We did get some feedback that maybe it was a little too large, maybe a little distracting. We have reconfigured that for the 454B systems. It will be a smaller control box. We've also integrated inside that. Used to be multiple control boards that you had to wire to. We've integrated into one control board. That way, wiring is quicker and easier. We have also added in a quick start guide that shows exactly how to set these things up. It's a 3-page instead of the long installation manual. It highlights the main points of what you need to do when you're setting these systems up, as well as dedicated, terminals for 2-fan speed control for single multi. And this allows us to do a better job at dehumidifying spaces, or attempting to do smart dry with the coil. Next slide here. Okay, configuration settings for the intelligent comfort control. We have 2 different options. We have capacity balance point. How this works is, first time you start, we're going to give an extended delay timer of 60 minutes before we turn on the furnace. Only on the second capacity balance point recording are we going to actually record, and that's where we're going to get our number of when we feel we need to switch over. So that is an option. We also have delay timers of 19, 44, and 59 minutes for economic balance point. Understanding that economic balance point, whenever you use that, you're going to disable that capacity balance point. Your easy way to clear out that capacity balance point, switch the unit out of heat mode and then back into heat mode on the controller, and it starts all over. So it is always recording and figuring out where's the best place for this system to switch over. Where is it more efficient for us to use heating rather than cooling in the capacity balance point side of things. On the economic balance point, as you can see in our standard outdoor units, we have a 9, 14, 23, and 32 degree set point. With our hyperheat, we all add in a -13, 5 degree, 14, 23, and 32. So this gives you the opportunity to set it up whatever's comfortable for the end user. I think it's just a great option to get a very efficient unit out there, as well as this can be paired with a PUZ series hyperheat or standard heat 1-to-1, or we can use this with a multi-zone MXZ standard or hyperheat. So now we add this unit in and we have a system where maybe they've got a 4-season porch. We can put a head in that 4-season porch. We have one outdoor unit taking care of the whole house as well as that 4-season porch, or a garage, or a cold space, whether it's their master that they want to keep a little bit more comfortable, whatever it is. It just gives us unlimited options to add this unit with other heads. And another option that came up was an opportunity, I guess, with a multi-zone system. If you've got a house that's got 2 separate systems, one for the first level, one for the second level, we can now control first level. We can leave that gas furnace or put a new gas furnace in, add an 8 coil above it. Now we're going to run a separate line upstairs, and we're going to put an air handler up there. Or if they already have a gas furnace, put a gas furnace with another coil up there. Now we're running both off of one outdoor unit. We're quieter. We should have less cost with only one system. And it's taking up less space in the homeowner's yard. So just a lot of opportunities with this. Keep it in mind. I think it's a great opportunity, great option for our area, and it's extremely efficient and well-made piece of equipment. So just keep it in mind. As I discussed earlier, 4 to 5 ton. We are looking at SVZ PVA 4 and 5 ton air handlers coming out in May. We've based this on the fact that, as you can see on the left-hand side, 66% of homes across the U.S. use essentially ducted systems. So to stay in this game, we knew we had to get to the 4 and 5 ton systems. So those will be coming out in May. These will be a larger air handler, and one of the things we've done to kind of help combat sizing is previously with our air handlers, you had to add the electric strip heat on top. These will accept electric strip heat internally on the unit. So going forward with the 4 and 5 ton, we will not have to add that to the top of the unit anymore. It will be built right into the unit. So not built in, but you'll have to slide it in. PAAs, we're going to have a 4 and 5 ton unit in the future. what I've seen is the 4 tons in 2026, 5 ton. I'm not sure when that's going to happen, but it should be coming soon. Also in May is when our 4 ton standard unit will be coming out, as well as our 4 ton hyperheat. Those are standalone single zone units, as well as a 5 ton single standard unit with, again, hyperheat to follow. We're hoping 2026, just haven't actually heard a guaranteed time when that may come. So with that, as you can see, moving from 410 to 454, we've essentially doubled the number of systems that qualify for Energy Star Cold Climate, as well as our CEE. And we're pretty proud of that. I think it's going to give us quite a few options going forward to help take care of your customers. Yeah, big stuff coming from us for sure. P-Series units. This is current lineup. You're not going to see any changes really with this. The units themselves all staying the same with additions coming. PLA, as you can see circled there, we're going to have a 4 ton unit now. So that will be a 1-to-1 4 ton 4-way sealing cassette that you have available for hyperheat applications or standard heat pump applications as well. We are also adding a 3D total flow unit. What that will do is, instead of just being able to control the airflow vertical, it's going to actually give us the option to adjust left and right airflow as well. So if we have something behind it, we'll be able to control where that air is going. So that will be another option, which is kind of nice. Just keep in mind it will add 3 inches of space above the ceiling. Again, 4 and 5 ton. As you can see, A-coil PAAs, 2026 plus. Excited for those to come out. I think it's just going to put us in another realm as far as what we can do. The PVAs, 4 or 5 ton, will be a larger footprint. These will, any of our air handlers are going to have refrigerant sensors built into them, just because of the amount of refrigerant that's needed for those A-coils. Okay, future products. These are some pretty exciting things we've got coming, I would say, in the next couple years. Just kind of want to let you know what's out there, where we're going, I guess, in the market, what we're trying to do. We're obviously, we've been talking about it for years. We want to become the whole home source of heating and cooling for your end users, and I think this might help get us in that direction. Coming up, hopefully next year, before the end of 2026, we're going to have a zone controller. It's going to allow for full modulation of fan and compressor. It's going to be compatible with any 2-wire or 3-wire 24-volt damper. So you could, whatever brand you're using currently, you'll still be able to use that damper. If you've got a home that is already running a system, we'll be able to work with it as long as it's a 2 or 3-wire 24-volt damper. We will end up having a 4 and 10 zone control option. We're going to offer wired and wireless options for remote controllers. Standalone operation with those controllers, or we would be able to work with our Comfort Cloud app as well. So all those units will be able to work with those. It's going to allow for optimal airflow control with the damper, and it's going to be compatible with our SVZ, PVZ, PEAD, and PAA units. So I think when we talk whole home, we're getting there. I think, in the next year, you're going to see a lot of advancement with this, the zone controller being an option to help comfort in that home. Company we have is Ecodan. Air to water systems, hydronic heat, and direct hot water. This, I'm being told, the last I heard, by the end of 2025, is something we will have available. This is going to allow us to use an outdoor unit to provide hydronic heating, cooling, and direct hot water. We're going to offer this in a 2, 3, 4 ton hyperheat outdoor unit. We're going to have easy to install hydro box. All components are going to be built into it. So it's going to have your all of your pumps, everything, pumps, valves, control board, relays for third-party devices, all built into it. We will also offer the direct hot water tank with a max flow temperature of 158 degrees. It allows us to pair with. Oh, sorry about that. It's going to allow us to work with any of your radiator applications, in floor, any of your high temperature applications with that outdoor unit. So, and as well as the boiler interlock with smart auxiliary backup control. Very limited information on this product so far, but it is in use. And I'm going to tell you it's overseas, obviously not here, but it is something that we are bringing to the United States. So you will see this available from Mitsubishi within the next 2 years, for sure. IEQ, residential ERV ductless. I think this is a great unit for multifamily applications. We're going to have a wall mount, high efficiency ERV. It is going to mount direct through the wall application. One of the downfalls of that is their operation is only down to 10 degrees. It will work, as we showed earlier on the Comfort Cloud app. You will be able to control it with this unit. Vertical or horizontal operations, 30 to 60 CFM. Excited about this one. I know that's a segment that is missing. There are options out there, but to be able to get in that game, I think just to add another option is going to be nice. I know when I worked in the commercial design side, it was hard to find something with those multifamily applications. So this is coming, hopefully sooner rather than later, but I'm being told latest early 2026. We'll see where it goes. Residential ERV ducted. This again gets us in the application where we can take care of the whole house. 90 to 120 CFM, and we can duct out to all the different zones in your house to help comfort the area as far as bringing in fresh air, taking care of stale air. It will also be Comfort Cloud compatible. That's why you saw that on that Comfort Cloud app that we talked about. So this will be, again, probably available about the same time that we have the through the wall unit available. Takeaways. With this, we're all being tasked to work with this new refrigerant. We're doing everything we can. We're expanding capacity, 4 to 5 ton. We're offering the low GWP dual barrier coating, more combinations. It used to be just a couple units had it. We pretty much have it in some capacity on all of our indoor high wall units. Demand response ready. We are AHRI 1380 compliant. We simplified compatibility of that universal outdoor unit with more indoor heads. We can pretty much cover any application that you may have with that S series. Aesthetically pleasing. I think the new line you're going to see with even that G series looks a little bit more like the F series now with that matte finish. I think it's just going to look a little nicer on the wall. Improved efficiencies. More of our Energy Star ratings, CEE qualified systems, as well as our Energy Star cold climate. Higher heating capacities. Now we're at 100% down to -10 and -13 on the MXZ with guaranteed heating down to -22. Easy to install and service. All A2L risk mitigation is going to be built in where it's needed. In the application, again, is that of that SM multi-zone, you will have to add to the F and G series indoor units. And the addition of Wi-Fi. I think that the addition of Wi-Fi is going to get us where we should have been years ago. I think it's going to be a nice adder for you guys. So you folks selling it out there, it's just going to help promote our product and offer the new Comfort app as well. That is what I have for you today. I really appreciate the time. I think, this just really covers what the equipment is, what it will do. As far as a lot of the covering as far as the mitigation, things like that, that's going to be, I think, a whole separate meeting if we did decide to do something like that. And I think once we get the units and start putting them in, understanding them better, just understand that any of our one-to-one high wall units, we're not going to need any sort of sensor on the indoor unit. We're going to be under that 4-pound threshold, so we're going to be just fine there. So one thing I will mention, in our F series units, our 9 and 12,000 BTU units are still going to come pre-charged with 25-foot of line set as far as refrigerant. On our 15, 18, and our new 24, those are all going to come pre-charged with 50-foot of refrigerant to cover that length of a line set. There's no point in time where you need to take any refrigerant out. You're going to still be fine. Just keeping in mind, we are adding a little adder, minimum line set lengths. We are going to be looking at a 16-foot minimum, and the main reason is refrigerant noise. One of the things we are adding with this as an option are mufflers. Some units are going to need them. I don't have full clarification. There's only two. I think so far they've only given us two. It would be the floor units when paired with the SUZ. Possibly we'll need a muffler, and it's only certain sizes. This will all be available once all of our information comes out, as well as the SLZ when paired with the ported units. That's our 4-way ceiling cassette in the M series. That would possibly need a muffler as well. And that is only if you get any complaints as far as noise from the refrigerant flow. So it's really what I got today. I appreciate your time. Thank you so much to Republic for allowing me to get on here and talk to everyone. I think going forward, we have an estimated ship date for new items of February 6th. So you should see items showing by the end of February. We do have them in our barn. We're just waiting for that first ship date to land. And then you're going to see 1-to-1 is going to be the first release. So all your FG P series units in 454B, that's what we're going to be releasing first. Multi-zone becoming later. Main reason is we still see a lot of multi-zone inventory out there, us included. So that will be a little bit behind as far as on the 454 release, but you are going to see indoor heads come, or indoor 1-to-1, outdoor 1-to-1s being released February 6th. So look forward to it. And if you have any questions, as always, you can reach out to me, whether that's through your TM, get the number and reach out direct if they can't answer it. I'm happy to talk to anybody I can.